Yo, 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 yo. What it do? What it do is your boy Strictly. How everybody doing? Y'all good? Y'all good? Y'all good? No matter how your day starts, it's all about how you finish. So either way it goes, it's a blessing to live another day. Okay. So I got a question to ask y'all. What happened to the Row Records? To all my hip hop fans, real hip hop fans out there, y'all know what I mean when I say the Row Records. For some that don't know, back in the 90s, it was called Death Row Records. CEO, Suge, Dre, we know the talent, Snoop, Dogg Pound, and they got Pop, Lady of Rage, Michel'le, Jewell, Rest in Power, the whole nine. How they made an impact throughout the 90s, and then after Pop, Suge got locked up, Snoop and damn near everybody left. Um, we know what happened. 2000s came, changed to the Row Records. In the 90s, Pop, and I listened to a whole bunch of unreleased Death Row and original versions, Death Row and the Row Records. So I was 3 when the Row Records was kicking off. 01, 3 years old. We know what happened in 01, so there's no need to explain. But this is a long story short. But Suge had power. A lot of people counted out Suge because is Suge is a knucklehead, but when it comes to business, business is business. That's the game. Business is business. What's understood don't need to be explained. But when you look at the Row Records in the 2000s, look at the talent that they had. Crocodile. First time I heard about Crocodile was on Slaughterhouse during my middle school years. Shit. During my middle school years, um, when they did the freestyle on BET, that cipher, back when ciphers was dope as hell. Around 2011 to 2014. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that was the first time I heard about Crocodile. Eastwood, never heard of Eastwood. Kurupt, of course, I know. Everybody should know about Kurupt. Um, Left Eye joined. So it was basically this. The Row Records, Death Row Records, 2000 version. Left Eye was brought in as the female Pop. But Left Eye, if you think about it, when you hear Nina, I think that was her name. Changed it to Nina. That unreleased album that she had, dope as fuck. Um, Left Eye, I felt like Left Eye was still alive when her career be popping on on Death Row Records. Yeah, But here's the crazy part, right? Long story short, part 2. We know why Death Row wasn't popping in the 2000s. We know. We know. We know why. The media and whoever want to fall in that BS wants to believe Suge messed it up and all that. Cool. You get we could agree to disagree. If you felt that way, everybody has a right to have their own opinion. But like I always say, do your research first. Do your research. Do your research. Don't listen to me. Please don't listen to me. But do your research. It's funny how they wasn't popping in the 2000s. It's funny because if you look at it and you listen to the unreleased bangers, shout out to the Road YouTube channel. Shout out to them. They had unreleased and original versions of albums from the 90s, Death Row and the Row Records. There was one song that I like, and it's dope as hell. And I didn't even know Ray J was on there. Crooked Eastwood, Ray J, Kurupt, and that was it. It was we got gangsta shit that y'all wanna play us. We got gangsta shit that y'all wanna play. Man, that song. If I'm not saying the words right, look it up. But yeah, they had bangers. They did. You could agree. We could agree to disagree. They had bangers. But let's be honest. Who was running California in the 2000s? I repeat, who was running California in the 2000s? I'm as far as record label. Hmm. Chicka chicka. Aftermath, people. Aftermath. 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 And who was in charge of Aftermath? Dr. Dre, ladies and gentlemen. So we know what happened with the split between Dre and Suge. No love lost. But it's kind of funny that all them bangers, and I'm not being biased, I'm just keeping it blood raw, keeping it a buck. It's funny how all them bangers, when you listen to them unreleased, how them hits that they had. It's funny how that label wasn't popping in 2000s. We're not gonna put no blame. We we're not gonna put no blame. We just gonna say alleged. Cause I was a jit during that time. So I grew up during the aftermath era in its prime. I hell, I grew up in the Row Records era in the 2000s. I'm a 98 baby. People. Come on, so So alleged Suge and them got blackballed. Alleged. 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 I said alleged now. Long story short, I say alleged. You can't tell me that the Road Records couldn't make no noise in the 2000s. You couldn't tell me. All them interviews that they had on what? Jimmy Kimmel? Like legit shows promoting. You can't tell me they couldn't get shit cracking. We know what it is. Come on now, we know. We know what time it was. We know. Imagine. Just imagine. Imagine if they was popping. Imagine all them bangers. It would have been popping. Would it would at least got the recognition, but would have been top tier? Not like how it was. My fault. And shout out to Carcino. Shout out to Carcino. Subscribe to his channel, Carcino for Life. One Crack News. FU Referee. My bad. Multitasking between two candidates. One Crack News. Subscribe to his Patreon. Carcino talked about this. My bad. Cino talked about this on his channel. But it's kind of funny. Just imagine. Even if they wouldn't got top tier recognition that they did in the 90s. And let's just say they would have had the recognition like underground, but people recognize it, right? Bro, they would have had bangers. They wouldn't have the huge impact that they had in the 90s, but they would have had some noise. They would have had some noise. Like I said, we could agree to disagree. Don't believe me, do your own research. This is just my perspective. Long story short, part 3. I don't give a damn what people got to say. I ain't being biased. I'm just keeping the buck because if you listen to them unreleased songs, you can't tell me shit would have been. You can't tell me Crooked Eye would have been well known, not just only on the West Coast, different regions. People would have want to talk about game. Crooked Eye, MC. Just imagine. Come on now, like, come on. P would have been like Crooked Eye. versus Game. Who's ill? Shout out to the West Coast. If you agree, disagree, that's fine. Y'all know more than me on the West Coast. Shout out to y'all. Crooked Eye versus Game as far as who's the better MC on the West Coast. Game has raw energy. Crooked Eye has raw energy, but Crooked Eye is more witty than Game. Game is, I'm coming at your throat. I don't give a so it's a toss-up. I could say Game, but I could say Crooked Eye, so it's a toss-up. But long story short, part 4. I think they would have had the impact. I think they would have had the impact, not much of a huge impact like they did in the 90s, but the impact that they would have had on the 2000s, it would have been popping. They would have definitely been recognized. On the West Coast, they would have been huge on the West Coast in competition with Aftermath, but not as far as sales wise, but as far as popularity wise. It would have been dope. I wish Left Eye was alive. I think with Left Eye was the female Pac, coming into Death Row. So Left Eye, she would have did her thing. Of course, she would ghostwrite for a couple of artists. Her production company, I think when she signed Black, they would have still been relevant. We would have talked about, when they talk about girl groups or teenage pop in the 2000s, people know who I'm talking about. The TRL days, they would have been popping. But going back to Left Eye, Left Eye would have did some things. I think we would have got that other side of Left Eye, like a therapeutic version of Left Eye. Long story short, part 5. Yeah, they would have made an impact in the 2000s. Not as huge as Death Row, but they would have made an impact. Shout out to Big Bro HD. Subscribe to his channel. That's HD with 2 eyes. Welcome to HD TV. That's with 2 eyes. Subscribe to his Patreon, $3 a month. Go buy his merch, hoodie and t-shirt, $60. Yes, sir. You support the real. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to his channel. And this is Long Story Short series. I'm out. Peace.